there's a cushy and there's a furs and there's a people. And then people are like, they spelled out the words, so people would watch it as like, dare you not to laugh.
And are you watching that going like, what's going on, Nanalan? Really?
No, I knew it was going to happen. That's why you make weird...
How are you?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. What is going on?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Nana love is what's going on.
Nana love, the Nanalution.
This thing was on the air like for 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And it's blowing up on TikTok right now.
It is. It's massive. 115 million views.
I think
That's
actually
what
it was the 116 that count this morning when I looked when I had my coffee.
Unbelievable.
Oh, hi there, Mona.
You guys haven't seen each other in 15 years?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, we just, we worked together for so many years. We made a lot of shows together from the age of 20 till 37 years of age. We were beside each other every day, all the time, making ideas, creating, puppeteering. So I think at some point we were like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
And then and then this great success and 15 years of maturity, and we've been talking every day.
It's really weird because even after all of that time, because it was an intense creative partnership that we've had over these many years, and created some great stuff. But there's a moment where you're like, we have to sort of go our separate ways and see if we can stand on our own and all that kind of stuff. But there was always a moment, and it's weird because I thought to myself, maybe one day when we're 50, that we'll actually come and sort of work together again, and out there manifest destiny, and here it is.
So John calls Paul.
We got to get the band back together.
I didn't know they were Scottish. I'm learning something new every single day. This is very interesting to me. But John calls Paul and says like, "Hey man, the Beatles haven't been together in 15 years. Something's really starting to happen."
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for the comparison.
That is quite heartwarming.
Jason, where did the inspiration for Nanalan come from in the first place?
Well, it's interesting because we both had very quirky nanas. There's no doubt. Like they were both knick-knack lovers and doodads. My nana's house was filled with them. Jamie's nana's house was filled with them. And once we left, because Nanalan sort of began at YTV, but before once we left YTV, because we actually worked at YTV for a while. Once we left there with our own puppet troupe, we're like, what's the next thing? What are we gonna do? And we thought, and we'd never really created a kids television before. And so when in the process of trying to figure out getting into the
preschool, you mean?
Preschool, like what kind of thing does a preschooler need? And we just sort of, talked about it and we worked it out, and it was like the love of being free and going to our Nana's house was really was sort of the beginning of inspiration. And it was all sort of experiential, the idea of like life in a the magic of everyday things.
Well, let's stay on that for a second, the magic of everyday things, because when you watch Nanalan, which I have had the joy, in all honesty, of doing to get ready for this interview, watching it again,
okay, thank you.
Nothing really dramatic happens. It's Mona.
There's no magic.
Mona, who I thought was Nanalan, but Mona, the little girl, just being enamored by, a tomato and the beauty of life. Was that intentional?
Yeah. No, there's no special effects. There's never video effects or digital effects. There's nothing magical. No, frogs don't fly and birds don't talk. And then it was always about slowing it down. And the original 3 minutes we did all in one shot. So we would have hardly any cuts. One of our rules was, when in doubt, slow it down, which is kind of the totally opposite of what it is today.
Especially kids' TV today.
Yeah, kids' TV today. And I think
even back then, it was the same.
It was the same.
It was a reaction against that.
Just to try and slow things down.
Yeah. And the inauthentic, like the reason kid shows are so annoying is because they're so inauthentic.
Yeah.
So the adults can't stand watching them, and they all have those same kind of voices, and it's just sort of like, why not kind of make we were trying to make something authentic. That was maybe the word.
And actually, just on that point, one of the coolest things about our show was we didn't write a stitch of dialogue.
What?
There was no scripts written. We would write outlines, so we would know where we were going in a scene. But then we would just improv. We just improv it back and forth, and then we would redo it and do it again, and sort of say, oh, "That was really funny. Let's keep going on that." It was a very hands-on, very in the moment kind of filming technique that seems to really capture something that we were trying to do at the time. I don't think you'd ever be able to do that now. Like I don't think any executive would.
Larry David did, but he was copying us. Same with Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
Jamie, when did you start to notice that Nanalan was popping up over the internet? Because this started this started before TikTok.
Yeah,
right?
You're watching with bated breath when you're putting stuff all the time. But TikTok was the one. That's the rocket ship.
But was it on Tumblr before that or something?
Oh
like
yeah,
that
Tumblr.
Before? Yeah, like, what was that all about?
2016 had a big thing with somebody put the text out of her gerbil gabbles of talking. She's describing the garden to Ruster, like there's a cushy and there's a furs and there's a people. And then people are like, they spelled out the words, so people would watch it as like, dare you not to laugh.
And are you watching that going like, what's going on, Nanalan? Really?
No, I knew it was going to happen. That's why you make if you want things to be popular, they have to be weird. They have to be.
I'm not saying the quality of the thing is in doubt. I'm saying that like this thing you made in Canada in the late 90s, early 2000s, 13 years later shows up on Tumblr. Your reaction is like, yep, I knew it.
Okay, it was pretty exciting.
It must have been pretty exciting.
What I loved about that time, because I watched it on Tumblr too, what I actually loved is I loved the reaction videos of people watching that. That's what I thought was hilarious, because people were like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Markiplier, I remember him watching it, and Chad Tronick did something on it, and everybody's doing stuff on that.
It was very funny.
So then, Jamie, it starts blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah.
And how's that?
Well, we just took a moment of that Peepo one, and that was the first thing, because TikTok is even shorter, so it's rather than the whole thing, it was just one 10-second moment of going, there's peas in there. And then that got 1 million views. And then we were kind of, then other ones got started watching. And then TikTok, it's engagement based. So if people love it, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. You can have 14 million people watch it if people just love what you did.
The song did big, right? Wasn't there a song that did
and the
big?
songs. The
What was
songs
the
are
song?
amazing. The Wonderful Girl song?
Yeah. Can you tell the story behind that one?
We would write the episodes, and Jack Lenz would write the music, and Jason would sing at this Nana-type organ, and unbelievable singing. Like, he's such a good singer, and the songs are unbelievable. They're like, I was going back to it because I hadn't watched it in 20 years. I was like, these are amazing. Like, Nana loves bananas, and she's just like really getting into the organ, Elton John style, and it's amazing. You rocked it. You really did.
Yeah, well, I loved it. Well, my Nana used to sing in an organ. She terribly and always sing behind the beat of the song, but yeah, it's a memory unlocked for sure.
Did you improvise that song too?
No, what would happen is we would have this outlines. We'd know what was going to happen, and we know, okay, Nana. We'd set it up the idea that she would sing songs. She would also read stories as well in real time. We also had a Mr. Buka puppet show, so we'd have these breakup moments, and one of them would definitely be a song. So we'd have these ideas of what we wanted to have, and then like for specifically the Who's That Wonderful Girl, there was a whole theme about Mona dressing up and being other things, and she ends up dressing up as a princess, and we were like, we need that song. And then Jack wrote these lovely things, and I would go and sing it late at night, and and then we would just play it back on the day.
Who's that wonderful girl? Could she be any cuter? Who's that wonderful girl? Oh, look! Here comes the suitor. He's so handsome. She's gorgeous, she's graceful, she's almost 3. She's lucky, she's lovely. She's the princess for me.
Why do you think Nanalan is back on TikTok? Why is it responding so well?
Well, I think my theory is that people kind of are dying for something that's not AI or digitized or kind of like it's just very real. It's just got a really real feel. And because the way we improvised it, the performance comes from truth. It doesn't come from, okay, I got to read the dialogue just this way, and you're just doing weird things with your voice. We did it from our heart. So I think people are just, chuffed. They're happy. They're just seeing something that makes them feel it's wholesome.
Yeah,
as
it
they
really
say.
is, though.
The one
Yeah.
that going back to your sort of idea about the thing that really sort of knocked it out of the park for this new popularity is that one of the things that Nanalan offers is that sense of comfort, that sense of joy, that sense of being free of to be who you are, and being in a safe place like your Nana's house to be able to do that, and to have somebody who's there creating that space for you to do that. And no wonder people are absolutely enamored by that with the horrible 24-hour news cycle, and people are in the comments, and Jamie can talk more about this because he reads the comments a lot more, but of the joy that gives people right now. And these adults, in their like a forgotten childhood or a childhood that they didn't have, or it's healing their inner child or remembering their Nana.
We took that slogan came from everybody saying that. You're healing my inner child. You're healing my inner child. I was crying like crazy. Why am I crying? That's what people keep on saying.
When I was watching the Wonderful Girl clip, I also just started like, I'm not a crier. And I felt like this overwhelming like surge of emotion come over me.
Wow, that's nice.
It was wild, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah, I think there is something about a certain maybe sense of safety, or maybe a bit of safety I miss in the world, or that I wish was still there, or the way that people were reacting to it.
Yeah.
It is very pure in some ways.
There's one thing, we've talked about this before. I think there's an accessibility, and what do they call it? Relatable. She's so relatable. This is the word they use on TikTok, and it's because she's a happy face. Basically, she's an emoji, so she is kind of like the thing that everybody uses. Male, female, whatever, however you look, you can use the same happy face to say, I'm sad, I'm happy. So she's kind of like that, I think. So people, when they watch it, they're not watching the other, they're watching themselves.
These are perceptions, and Jamie, you said something just then. You said, like, sort of my theory on why this is working so well. But we have some concrete evidence that people are having real breakthroughs or having real kind of emotional moments through this work, which is not on TikTok, which is on Cameo. So Cameo, if you're not familiar with it, is a service where you can pay a celebrity, or I guess in this case a character, to record an individualized message. I once got the wrestler Hacksaw Jim Duggan to convince my friend not to buy a pool table. It cost $50, and it was the best $50 I've ever spent.
Well done.
So someone tell me who's been, Jamie, you've been doing the Cameo thing?
We're both doing
we're both doing Cameo.
What have you been hearing from people?
Go for it.
Yeah, it's that. I'm actually surprised at how much love that people are trying to send each other. Because that's really what the message is. A lot of them are pep talks.
Yeah, half of mine are pep talks.
Yeah, most of mine are pep talks. For like, I need. Actually, I did one last night that was like, and I spent a good amount of time doing it. Of a woman that sent it to herself because she's feeling really lonely because she moved halfway across the country to start a brand new job. She has no friends there, and she needed some encouraging words.
Yeah, that's a third of them. But yeah, me too. People to themselves. I just need something to cheer me up. I'm stressed at work. I'm a preschool teacher. I'm so stressed all the time. Can you let my wife know that she's loved and everybody loves her? That kind of stuff.
It breaks my heart.
They're heartbreaking.
Truly, going into Cameo, not realizing that that's the kind of effect that you have on people, it just brings out the message that we created so long ago is so more important even now. And to actually be able to do that directly is actually the unexpected real reward, I think, of doing Cameos, is like being able to do that for people.
I'm realizing I came into this conversation thinking one thing, and now I'm thinking another. I came into this conversation thinking, isn't this amazing that these two fellas made this thing in the late 90s and it's back on TikTok? And you heard the way I introduced it, like, a big thing. I'm realizing what this actually is that you made something that in 1999 to 2003 that has the ability to really kind of heal and help people in 2023. Isn't that? How do you feel about that?
That's a good way to
put
it.
How does that make you feel, Jamie?
It's very special. It is. It's beautiful. It is what people need, and people are just so scared right now.
Yeah.
It's just such a scary world.
Yeah.
And to have this kind of comfort, and really that's the beginning. We all have to just heal our own little birdie inside, and that's going to make it a better world. So it is, I think, providing that. It's like we don't need to. We're all trying to fix other people. We actually need to fix ourselves first.
Yeah.
And
What do you
the love that people are actually giving each other because of this is actually quite uniting and quite, again, unexpected and quite lovely.
Yeah, it's so cute.
And it's also validating because that's exactly what the show's all about. And it was that way 20 years ago. Like that was what we were setting out to do with these characters. It was a lovely place that was supportive and joyful.
Yeah, the original shorts, that Earth with the house on top of it, that the symbol of that was to make a home on Earth. That was the idea of the series, even from those little weird 3 minutes.
How is it for you guys being back together doing this again?
It's all very new, to be honest. But I was actually I will tell you this. I was driving in. I was really excited. I was expected to be kind of nervous or whatever, but actually I was like driving in. I was like, this is actually really bloody exciting.
I know. It felt very easy. I mean, today we just met at the coffee shop this morning. First time after 15 years.
For this thing right now?
For this thing, for your show, we are together for the first time in 15 years in the same room.
There's a historical moment going on right here in front of you, Tom.
Oh, hold on. The meeting for the same room is for this?
For this. Hello. Thank you, Tom Powers. Look what you have done.
We're talking about being united. Who's the uniter now? It's Tom Powers.
And if we save the world, you assisted the saving of the world.
In all seriousness, this means an awful lot to me. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, I know, pretty special.
Everyone feeling good?
It's been a lovely day.
One of the things that's been so awesome about our creative partnership was an intense one. It was always creatively speaking, was always astronomical. Like as far as what we both contribute to we just complemented each other so well in our thinking and how we see the world, and thing after thing was always really exciting, and that's what I was really excited about today, is to try to reunite with that feeling of the creative joy that we always had, because we loved it. We loved creating stuff. It was something we always connected on.
Yeah,
our big creative rule always was the best idea wins. There was not ego in the creation of things. It was pure. It was pure and awesome. So
we've been walking around the CBC buildings today, and we had a little coffee together. I saw the set. Jason, of course, does Gary, and he designed that beautiful CBC set. So just kind of seeing his life here. It's been lovely.
You're breaking my heart, you two. You're absolutely breaking my heart, you two. Well, I can't begin. I mean, I already was going to thank you for coming in. I can't thank you enough for getting the band back together.
I know. We're going to hit the roads together.
Getting the band back together.
And Paul's going to stop writing those corny, cheesy tunes.
I can't thank you enough. And thank you so much for all this work. I'm so happy that this work you guys did. And you have to understand that people who do Jamie and Jason's line of work, they are, when we say they're close together, they're physically close together. When you look at photos of these two when they were doing Nanalan, you're pinned up against one another. Yeah. To have you guys back in the studio because of the impact you're having on people's lives in 2023, like, what can you say more than that, hey?
Yeah.
Thank you.